어딨냐고 물어봤지. 뭐 하냐고는 안 물어봤잖아.
16 years ago, they were the picture of perfection on screen, the beautiful, impossibly rich icons of a drama that took the entire world by storm. Boys Over Flowers wasn't just a show, it was a cultural reset. It was the phenomenon that launched the Hallyu wave into the stratosphere and made its stars household names from Seoul to Santiago. They were F4 and their fearless leading lady, living out a fairy tale at the most elite high school in South Korea. On camera, they had it all: the looks, the money, the unbreakable friendships, and the promise of a perfect future. But what happens when the cameras stop rolling? For this cast, the years that followed were anything but a fairy tale. The story didn't end when the credits rolled. In fact, for many of them, the real drama was just beginning, filled with shocking scandals, private heartbreaks, and an unbelievable resilience that no script could ever predict. One star faced a career-ending scandal that split a nation. Another secretly battled a near-fatal accident long before he ever got famous. One found her picture-perfect marriage dissolve in a brutal public spectacle, while another quietly married his childhood sweetheart, completely escaping the spotlight. And tragically, one young actor connected to the show would leave the world far, far too soon. We're uncovering what really happened to the cast of Boys Over Flowers after the cameras went dark. This is their unbelievable journey, 16 years later. You can't talk about Boys Over Flowers without its charismatic, hot-headed, and absolutely unforgettable leader, Gu Junpyo. With that signature curly hair and an arrogance that slowly melted to reveal a heart of gold, Lee Min-ho became an overnight sensation. Back in 2009, when he was just 21, he embodied the ultimate K-drama male lead. It was a role that didn't just define his career, it shot him to a level of stardom few actors ever reach. His portrayal of the Shinhwa Group heir was magnetic, turning him from a rising actor into a global Hallyu icon almost instantly. The show's explosive popularity was his launching pad, and he soared higher than anyone imagined. 16 years later, at 38, Lee Min-ho is no longer the boyish chaebol heir. He's a seasoned, sophisticated leading man who reigns as one of Asia's most powerful and influential actors. And his transformation from a rookie star to a global phenomenon is a story of incredible talent, smart career moves, and a quiet resilience that many fans never even knew about. After Boys Over Flowers, Lee Min-ho didn't just ride the wave, he commanded it. He carefully chose projects that showed his range and cemented his leading man status. In City Hunter, 2011, he became a sleek action hero, proving he was more than just a romantic lead. The series was a massive hit, but it came at a huge personal cost. During filming, he was in a serious car accident that partially destroyed the vehicle. He miraculously escaped major injury, but the crash was a terrifying echo of a far more traumatic event that had nearly ended his career before it even began. Long before the world knew him as Gu Junpyo, back in 2006, a 20-year-old Lee Min-ho and his friend, actor Jung Il-woo, were in a horrific car crash. A drunk driver hit their car head-on, an accident that was fatal for others in their vehicle. Lee Min-ho's injuries were devastating. He was in critical condition for months, suffering a fractured thigh and torn knee cartilage. He spent nearly a year in the hospital undergoing painful rehabilitation, and doctors had to insert a 46-centimeter metal rod in his thigh. He later confessed to the immense emotional toll it took, watching friends recover and return to acting while he was still stuck in a hospital bed. It was a secret battle he fought long before the spotlight ever found him, and those injuries ultimately meant he couldn't serve as an active duty soldier, instead completing his mandatory service as a public service officer from 2017 to 2019. Despite these hidden struggles, his career only went up. He followed City Hunter with the massive hit The Heirs, 2013, and then starred in The Legend of the Blue Sea, 2016, and The King, Eternal Monarch, 2020, which solidified his global appeal on Netflix. More recently, he's made a powerful shift toward more complex, internationally acclaimed projects. His role in Apple TV Plus's Pachinko was a revelation. Playing the morally ambiguous Ko Han-soo, he shed his perfect hero image for something darker and more compelling, earning widespread critical acclaim. Looking ahead, his star power shows no signs of dimming. He is set to star in the highly anticipated 2025 space rom-com Ask the Stars and the movie Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Today, Lee Min-ho is more than an actor. He's a global brand. He's a top choice for luxury endorsements, a social media powerhouse, and a respected industry veteran. The curly-haired boy has been replaced by a man with a commanding presence, born from overcoming incredible adversity. And while there are no official plans, fans still hold out hope that Gu Junpyo might one day return to our screens, not as a boy, but as the king he has truly become. She was the absolute heart of Boys Over Flowers, the indomitable Geum-jan-di. As the poor, headstrong laundryman's daughter who refused to be broken, Koo Hye-sun captured our hearts with her loyalty and that iconic turning kick to Gu Junpyo's face. In 2009, at 25, she was the perfect candy girl heroine, the girl who could stand up to anyone and win the hearts of the two most sought-after boys in the country. Her portrayal made her a household name and an icon of strength. 16 years later, the woman behind Jan-di has lived a life that's demanded even more resilience than her character. At 41, Koo Hye-sun's journey has been one of artistic exploration, public heartbreak, and a fierce determination to redefine herself on her own terms. Her path has been far from the fairy tale ending her character got, marked instead by creative passions and a personal life that unfolded under the harshest public spotlight. After the show's success, Koo Hye-sun proved she was a true, multi-talented artist. She wrote and directed her own feature films, published novels, composed music, and held numerous art exhibitions. Her creativity knew no bounds. For a time, it seemed she'd found her own fairy tale off-screen, too. In 2016, she married her blood co-star Ahn Jae-hyun, and their life was documented on the reality show Newlyweds Diary, where they seemed to be the picture of happiness. But in August 2019, that picture shattered. The dream turned into a public nightmare when Koo Hye-sun announced on Instagram that her husband was seeking a divorce. What followed was one of the messiest and most public celebrity divorces in recent Korean history. For months, the public had a front-row seat as the couple engaged in a painful war of words. Koo Hye-sun made a series of dramatic claims, while Ahn Jae-hyun responded with his own side of the story, revealing he was being treated for depression. Private text messages were exposed, intimate details were laid bare, and the public took sides. The media frenzy was brutal. The woman who played the unshakable Geum-jan-di was now showing a raw, painful vulnerability, and the fallout was immense. The divorce was finalized in July 2020, leaving both of their public images deeply affected. In the aftermath, Koo Hye-sun stepped away from the entertainment industry. She announced a temporary break from acting to return to Sungkyunkwan University and finish her degree. It was a time for healing and rediscovery. She poured herself back into her art, finding comfort in painting and writing. She has since held successful exhibitions and continues to share her journey of finding herself again after the storm. Today, Koo Hye-sun appears to be in a place of peace and creative fulfillment. She gracefully navigated the fallout of her public divorce and emerged with a renewed sense of purpose. Her story is a powerful reminder that life after a global hit isn't always glamorous. It can be messy and painful. Koo Hye-sun's journey is a testament to her strength, not just surviving the storm, but finding the courage to paint her own new sky. He was the sensitive soul of F4, the gentle, violin-playing Yoon Ji-hoo. As the quiet and caring second lead, Kim Hyun-joong caused a massive second lead syndrome epidemic across the globe. Millions of hearts broke when Geum Jan-di didn't choose him. In 2009, at 23, he was the embodiment of a prince, already famous. As the leader of the K-pop group SS501, Boys Over Flowers, pushed him to peak stardom. His soft-spoken charm and melancholy gaze made him one of Korea's most beloved stars. He was on top of the world, but the story of Kim Hyun-joong is a cautionary tale of how fast a perfect image can be shattered. 16 years later, at 39, he's a man transformed not just by time, but by a scandal so shocking that it derailed his career in Korea and forever changed his public image. His journey is the most dramatic of all the F4 members, a fall from grace that played out in agonizing detail in courtrooms and tabloid headlines. After the drama, his career was skyrocketing. He released hit solo albums and starred in another popular drama, Playful Kiss. His gentle hero image was solid. Then, in August 2014, his world collapsed. His ex-girlfriend, Ms. Choi, accused him of physical assault, claiming he had repeatedly beaten her, even breaking her ribs. The news sent shockwaves through the nation. Kim Hyun-joong admitted to one physical altercation, but denied the other charges, and Ms. Choi dropped them after a settlement. But that was just the beginning. In early 2015, the story took another shocking turn. The couple had briefly reconciled, and Ms. Choi was pregnant with his child. What came next was an absolute storm of lawsuits and countersuits. Ms. Choi sued him for psychological damages, claiming a past assault had caused a miscarriage. Kim Hyun-joong, preparing for military enlistment, countersued for defamation, claiming her miscarriage story was a lie. The battle turned into a public spectacle, a paternity test later confirmed he was the father of the child born in September 2015. The legal war dragged on for years. In the end, the outcome was complex. While he was fined for the initial assault, the Supreme Court ultimately ruled in his favor on the defamation suit, finding that Ms. Choi's claims about a miscarriage were not substantiated. She was ordered to pay him damages. But by then, the damage to his career was done. A DUI charge in 2017 while on military leave only made things worse. Public support vanished. Endorsement deals dried up, and the Korean public largely turned its back on him. After his military service, he attempted a quiet comeback, focusing on his loyal international fan base. He released music, held small concerts abroad, and starred in a low-profile drama. In recent years, he's started a new, much quieter chapter. In 2022, he announced that he had married his non-celebrity best friend, his first love who stood by him during his darkest times. They have since welcomed a son, Kim Hyun-joong's second child. He now communicates with fans through his YouTube channel, sharing glimpses of his life, including his recent foray into farming. Today, Kim Hyun-joong is a more reserved figure, a stark contrast to the bright star of 2009. His journey is a harrowing story of fame, controversy, and the long, difficult road to rebuilding a life after losing it all. He was the smooth, pottery-playing Casanova of F4, So Ye-jung. With a killer smile and a tragic backstory, Kim Bum charmed his way into our hearts as the group's resident artist and playboy. In 2009, at just 20, he perfectly captured his character's two sides, the confident flirt and the vulnerable soul hiding underneath. His on-screen romance with Kim So-yoon's character was a fan favorite, and the role made him one of Korea's most promising young actors. 16 years later, Kim Bum's story is one of quiet consistency and impressive artistic growth. Now 36, he navigated his career not with explosive stardom or dramatic turmoil, but with a steady, determined focus on his craft. His journey has been about transforming from a flower boy into a respected and versatile character actor, proving that slow and steady really can win the race. While Boys Over Flowers made him a star, Kim Bum seemed to intentionally steer clear of being typecast. He challenged himself with a diverse range of roles, taking on a gritty part in Padam Padams on 2011 and giving a memorable performance in the hit drama That Winter, The Wind Blows, 2013. He continued to build a solid resume with roles in the action series Hidden Identity, 2015, and the crime drama Mrs. Cop, 2016. During this time, Kim Bum also faced a personal health battle that he mostly kept private. He was diagnosed with degenerative arthritis, a hereditary illness, in his early 20s. The condition was a huge challenge for an actor, but he managed it with treatment, all while keeping up with his demanding schedule. His quiet perseverance through this struggle says a lot about his determination. After his military service from 2018 to 2020, Kim Bum made a spectacular comeback that completely redefined his career. His role as the mischievous half-gumiho, Lee, Rang in the hit fantasy drama Tale of the Nine-Tailed Lao 2020 was a massive success. Fans fell in love with his complex anti-hero, and the character became so popular it led to a prequel season, Tale of the Nine-Tailed 1938T 2023, with Kim Bum's character taking center stage. He followed this with strong performances in the legal drama, Law School 2021, and the medical fantasy series Ghost Doctor 2022. These roles showed his incredible range. The fresh-faced flower boy of 2009 had evolved into a ruggedly handsome actor with serious dramatic chops. Most recently, it was announced he will be returning to the romantic comedy genre in the drama Sold Out Again Today, slated for a 2026 release. Today, Kim Bum stands as a testament to the power of consistent, hard work. He has built a career on talent and versatility, not hype or scandal, and has become one of the industry's most reliable and interesting actors. He was the cool, understated powerhouse of F4, Song Woo-bin, the prince of the Ilshim construction empire. Though he had the least screen time of the four, Kim Joon made his mark as the loyal, level-headed friend who was always ready to fight for his crew. In 2009, at 25, Kim Joon was also a member of the K-pop group T-Max, which famously sang the show's iconic theme song, Paradise. 16 years later, Kim Joon's path has been the quietest of all. Now, 41, he has largely stepped away from the spotlight that followed his co-stars. His story isn't one of soaring fame or public drama, but of a deliberate choice to put personal happiness and family first. After Boys Over Flowers, Kim Joon continued with T-Max for a while and took on a few acting roles, but his career never hit the same heights as his F4 brothers. He seemed to consciously choose a more low-key path. In 2011, he enlisted for his mandatory military service, putting his career on hold. After his discharge, he remained mostly out of the public eye. The biggest shocker for fans came in 2018, when it was revealed that Kim Joon had gotten married. 3 years earlier, in 2015, he had married his middle school sweetheart, a non-celebrity he'd dated for 9 years. They also had a child together. He kept his marriage and family a complete secret, a remarkable feat in the K-drama world. He explained he simply wanted to protect his wife's privacy and build a normal life. His journey couldn't be more different from his co-stars. While they were navigating global fame, public relationships, and career-defining roles, Kim Joon was building a life away from the cameras. He has since focused more on theater and made occasional TV appearances. Today, Kim Joon is a dedicated husband and father. He found his own version of paradise, not in a world of screaming fans and flashing lights, but in the peace and stability of a private life. His story is a gentle reminder that success can be defined in many ways. For this F4 prince, True wealth was the quiet joy of a life lived for himself and his loved ones. The world of Boys Over Flowers was filled with memorable supporting characters, and many of them went on to have huge careers. Lee Min-jung, who played Gu Junpyo's fiancée Ha Jae-kyung, became an A-list actress. Her personal life also made headlines when she married superstar actor Lee Byung-hun and stood by him through a major public scandal. But the legacy of Boys Over Flowers is also touched by a profound and heartbreaking tragedy. The role of the younger version of Kim Bum's character, So Yi-jung, was played by a bright-eyed child actor named Moonbin. In 2016, Moonbin debuted as a member of the popular K-pop group Astro. He grew into a beloved idol, known for his incredible talent as a dancer and vocalist, and his warm, gentle personality. Tragically, on April 19, 2023, Moonbin passed away at the age of 25. His sudden death sent shockwaves of grief through the K-pop community and beyond. Fans and colleagues mourned the loss of a bright star who left the world far too soon. His passing is a devastating reminder of the immense pressures faced by those in the entertainment industry and a heartbreaking chapter in the story of the lives connected to Boys Over Flowers. From a global king who secretly battled life-threatening injuries, to a beloved heroine who weathered a brutal public divorce. From a fallen prince who lost it all to scandal, to a steady craftsman who built his career on talent alone, the journeys of the Boys Over Flowers cast have been anything but ordinary. They've navigated the highest highs of fame and the lowest lows of personal hardship, all under the public eye. 16 years have transformed them from the fresh-faced idols of Shinhwa High into complex, resilient adults whose real lives have been far more dramatic than any script. And yet, the magic of the show lives on. The fact that fans still talk about it and hope for more is a testament to the lasting power of the story and the mark these actors left on our hearts. But now we want to hear from you. Which cast member's journey surprised you the most? Who do you think has changed the most in the last 16 years? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love taking a walk down memory lane with your favorite K-dramas, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an update on where your favorite stars are now. Thanks for watching.